Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode. We're on here to talk about the Club World Cup, which started on Sunday. We've had a few games now, very questionable quality. We want to talk about how did it come about, 32 teams, the DAZN TV rights. Is it linked to Saudi Arabia getting the 2034 World Cup? We're going to give our thoughts coming up in a second. Let's get it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And here we are. We're going to talk about the Club World Cup. Christian, it started on Sunday. Well, first thing, have you watched any of the games? I know some people are like, I'm not tuning in. Like, what have you been doing? Have you been watching it religiously or?
Yeah, no, I'll be honest, mate. I watched the first game. Weirdly, I couldn't sleep, so I stayed up and watched it. It was the whole Messi factor. And it was like, I like the build-up as well. It was like proper World Cup vibes, man. So, like, you know, when the camera's following the team bus and stuff. And I think that's the highlight of the competition, to be fair. I think it went downhill from that point. So, mate, I watched the first game. It was underwhelming. I mean, I've not seen Inter Miami play before. So, I mean, I've seen clips of Messi, of course, you know, in games. I didn't know the level of the squad, of the whole team. And it's appalling. It really is appalling. Yeah. I mean, this is not going into the other teams, which we can get into. I'm just talking about Inter Miami, who are one of the headline teams in it because of Leo. And, I was so disappointed. I mean, apart from Messi, you've obviously got Busquets and you've got Suarez. Busquets and Suarez look like they should have retired 3-4 years ago. They look absolutely done. Then you've got players playing either side of Messi in terms of it in midfield and up top, and they look like League 1, League 2 players. I'm not joking. I mean, the defence, Alex. Yeah. Talk to me. Have you seen any of the highlights from that game, or?
I've not, honestly. I seen like Messi's individual highlights, which I still thought he looked really good considering his age and play style. You know, 38 years old, still dribbling, still working yards, angles, passing lanes, still amazing. But, I mean, look, and then you obviously get the 10-0 Bayern. There was a 4-0 PSG. I've honestly watched very little of it. I saw a clip of the stadium being half empty last night. So, Christian, let's talk about how this has come about, right? So, it used to be the winners of each sort of continent's Champions League, the European Cup winners, so the Champions League winners, I think they got a bye and came in at the semis. So you played the semi-final against maybe a Boca or a River Plate or a similar side from another continent. And then you progress to the final. So you play 2 games in December. Then you go back to playing in the Prem, La Liga or Serie A, etc., wherever you play your football. Now it's a 32-team competition, which is like a World Cup. However, the World Cup has now expanded to 48, so it's not even like that anymore. So now it's 7-game tournament if you win it or get to the final. In a month, another ridiculous scheduling. And I mean, look, how did this tournament come about and why? Now, I've been doing a bit of research. To be honest, I've done more reading about this tournament than actually watching it because I am intrigued as to how it's even come about, really, and where the money's coming from, because it looked like there was about 25 people watching Chelsea last night. To be honest, it could have just been their squad. Their squad might have just made up the attendance, to be honest. Chelsea squad.
Their injury list was in the stands, basically.
Yeah, that was the only people watching the game. Look, it's obviously in America, isn't it? And they are sort of... there's got to be a thing there where they're trying to drive sort of popularity ahead of next year's World Cup. But a World Cup's a World Cup. People travel from all over the world to watch a World Cup. The locals won't make up a lot of the attendances anyway, and they never do. In Qatar, everything was sold out because Argentina came over in their hundreds of thousands to watch their country play. So, look, looking at the TV rights, I want to talk about this. And DAZN bought the TV rights for this tournament. Now, ITV made an offer of 0. ITV were like, we'll show it, but we're not paying you anything to show it, right?
Fair offer.
So the highest bid is 0. What did DAZN come in and do? $1 billion. Right. Yeah. Well, I don't know. You know, I do like the eBay and bidding. Usually, if you know the rival bid is around, you know, single figures, you don't go in with 9 figures. So straight away you're like, right, something's clearly off.
Yeah, red flag.
So who bought 10% of DAZN around similar time of this bid? I don't know when the bid was. Must have been a few months ago. Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund. Right. So you're thinking, right, so Saudi Arabia bought 10% of DAZN for about $1 billion, ironically. Well, it's not ironically. It's all linked. Then guess who gets to host the 2034 World Cup? Saudi Arabia. By the way, that World Cup was not bid on by any other nation. It was just a single nation bid, which was Saudi Arabia. And you know what? I don't know if you know this. So obviously you will know that the same continent cannot host the World Cup twice in a row. So if France hosts it, the next host has to be out of Europe, and it goes on like that. So in 2030, the World Cup host for 2030 is Morocco, Portugal, Spain. Well, that's two continents straight away because you've got Europe and you've got Africa.
Yeah.
Oh, and also the first 3 matches will be played in Uruguay, Argentina, and Paraguay to commemorate the tournament's centenary. So, assuming that the World Cup is 100 years old. So that's South America out. So in 2034, you've wiped out Europe, Africa, and South America with this nonsense fucking shit in 2030. So who does that leave? Asia, Oceania. So what competition did Saudi Arabia have? They got handed the 2034 World Cup on a gold platter.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Infantino gets a £1 billion offer from DAZN to show this tournament when nobody's watching. This is no way it's profitable for DAZN. But it's mathematically ridiculous. I mean, what do you think about this? I mean, it's not a coincidence, right? It's just pure corruption.
Yeah, you brought this to me and I was shocked. I mean, I didn't really know much about it. I've not took a huge interest in this tournament, even though my team is featuring in it. When you told me about this, I was just stunned. And how, you hear like a lot of things in football that, that they're coming at City and things publicly for all these charges, that's another matter. But it's like, how can this be done so open? And it's so obvious. I mean, the value of that, the value of this competition is not that of $1 billion. Everybody knows that. No one is that stupid. You know what I mean? You even said a rival bid was 0. They were like, we'll show it, but we'll give you the publicity, but when we don't value it at anything, which is, to be fair, I think that is a reasonable offer. I'm not even joking. I think that's quite kind of ITV. They're basically saying, well, yeah, we'll push it, but we're not going to give you money for it. Yeah. We don't think it's worth any money because the players you've got there, so, like you said the other day, Alex, some of them haven't got the time off because they're electricians, they're joiners. You know what I mean? Well, this is not a serious competition. And for me, Alex, I don't know how this has not really been blasted. And it's a good thing that I think me and you were talking about it because I really think, in the world we live in now where my team is coming under massive fire and under everyone wants to smash us with this. Well, I'll tell you what, let's look at some serious sports washing here because it's so obvious. They're not even trying to hide it.
And also, you're right, Christian. And also, we're back to, all the issues around Qatar, who I thought did a very good job of hosting it. But the severe human rights issues in Qatar, and it was widely reported at the time they hosted the 2022 World Cup, almost got brushed under the carpet because it was a phenomenal tournament on the pitch. And obviously Messi won it, so they got them amazing headlines in that respect as well. Now you double down and basically force it to Saudi Arabia. Apparently with the bidding for the 2034 World Cup, they rolled it out, obviously to Asia or Oceania. Australia were like, well, yeah, we'd be interested, but we've not got time to put a bid together. Yeah. So one team bid, Infantino stands up there, Saudi Arabia as a host, done. We move on. That's it. Now it's another one. It's another $1 billion in his pocket or whatever. And you mentioned about the first weekend of the tournament. And why does nobody want to show it? Why is ITV offering 0 to show this tournament? Let's look at the Group A. You mentioned Inter Miami, crap. Group A had 2 games in it. I can't remember what the other fixture was. Was it Porto and someone? Both games 0-0. Both games 0-0. Oh, let's go to the was it Monday or Sunday or whenever? Bayern Munich against a semi-pro team. Oh, everyone's going to want to tune into that. 10-0. You just mentioned it. Auckland. Is it Auckland City? Auckland City or Auckland FC, one of the two. Their players have full-time jobs. I think the goalkeeper has used all of his annual leave to come over and play in this tournament. He works in a warehouse. And it's not just him, by the way. Go and check it out on Twitter. Somebody's done a great exercise where they've listed the players' jobs, and whether it's true or not. But, it's normal people's jobs. Like, like San Marino. San Marino got absolutely hammered every single qualifying game. It's the same principle as this, except it's a forced tournament. Qualifying's qualifying. We've dealt with that for ages, although that's getting watered down, but we'll come to that. Semi-pro players, Harry Kane's on $400,000 a week. And these players earn their money in a warehouse. Some of them might have very good jobs. I don't know what they do. And some of the coaches couldn't even make the trip because they couldn't get the time off work. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Alex, I think the thing is as well, they're trying to push these tournaments. It's like, obviously, UEFA did the same thing and they brought in the Conference League. Now, I know West Ham fans, if we had anyone tuning in, I appreciate that it's great for you guys and things like that, but these competitions that we love, we adore, they're steeped in history, which has been created by moments from players we love from the past. Now, you can't just invent that and make it a big thing. It doesn't happen. I even got fooled myself, Alex. I told you at the start of the video, I was watching the intro, and they've got some bird up there dancing, doing an act, and some rapper, and you do buy into it a little bit. The moment the first ball was kicked, I was like, fuck me, this is now a harsh reality check. And unfortunately, the thing is, Alex, that will not be the worst. I mean, it wasn't the worst game. That was probably one of the better games. That's the thing. So, I mean, I will ask you this, but I do know the answer. In terms of, do you think, this is going to, I suppose, stay? Do you think this can ever be more than a bit of a farce, which is what it is now? Do you think it can ever build and gain some sort of traction, history?
The only thing I can think of happening is that they start watering it down and it becomes another Champions League, which essentially it is anyway, because how do these teams stand any chance against any of the European sides? I mean, look, maybe a South American, maybe Boca or River Plate might weirdly have a competitive side. None of us know that because none of us watch that football. But if you think teams from Saudi Arabia, teams from New Zealand are going to be competitive in this, even MLS into Miami, they're not. They're going to get battered. It's simple facts. Even like Benfica will batter them. So what are going to happen? They're going to go, well, competition's crap, so we won't invite Auckland next year. We'll invite another team from the Prem. Maybe United, because United will flood the stadiums. And United won't even be top half,
But then what does that remind you of, Alex?
Super League.
Yeah, so, which, to be honest, do you think... listen, these guys are fucking smart. As we've just said, they've basically money laundered $1 billion. To get the World Cup. That's effectively what they've done. So then, it's not beyond the realms of belief that they would think, well, I'll tell you what, we'll put these shit ones in this year. We'll call it this Club World Cup bollocks. Obviously, everyone's going to twat all these part-timers. And then next year, we'll start drafting in a few more. It's like, I'll tell you what, Arsenal, come along. Oh, United, do you fancy it? And then suddenly it's like, oh my God, they're doing what we all booted off about years ago. Right. And I can see it happening. So I won't be shocked.
It's a Super League loading, isn't it? The only thing that can happen is, and not just obviously this $1 billion TV rights is going to go towards, prize money. Apparently the winner gets 100 million. So that drives, you're not going to get, say, all the big clubs make a stand and say, we're not coming to this shit because we want to rest our players. We want our players to have a summer off.
Yeah.
No, because the owners of City are going to go 100 million here. Yeah, we've got all the world.
It's above that, mate. It's above their heads. It doesn't matter what Pep's opinion is. He won't even be asked. It will be, we are going to try and win this tournament. Simple as that.
Exactly. And this is the thing that's I want to come to you on, really, because obviously your team is actually in it.
Yeah, for sure.
We're going to do a City episode separately on sort of what you want, but just looking ahead to obviously your team not having a summer off or whatever, depending on how deep you go. And Liverpool are not in this tournament. I'm sure they will be next year, however they grade. In 4 years, if it's every 4 years, fuck knows. Might just be like the Nations League, that's every year now. I don't even know what that is. I mean, how do you think it's going to go down with the City fan base if you come into the season fucked, get it together a bit, but Liverpool pip you by 5 or 6 points. Those 5 or 6 points are probably a Club World Cup hangover. How do you think that's going to go down with the City fan base if it's directly linked? Also, player injuries as well. You might have more injuries in Liverpool. What do you think it's going to be like from some of your perspective and the wider fan base?
Yeah, look, we've seen in the past, Alex, what an impact of, not having a pre-season, which I know effectively you could say this is the pre-season, but it's a messy one, isn't it? Because with not having a break and you're going straight into this, we've just seen Rodri, he played too many games, he got a horrific injury, and we don't know what condition he's even coming back in. That could potentially have ruined his career. We don't know. We can't say yet. Hopefully it hasn't. It doesn't make sense to me, and it all stems from these guys who created the Super League. And all our owners, listen, I'm forever thankful to Sheikh Mansour and Khaldoon and what they've done for this club. They give me moments I never thought I'd see. However, them joining the Super League, as did United, Chelsea, Spurs, the rest of them, it all showed that money means more than anything. They do not give a shit. Yeah. We are all second nature. And this and I'm meaning everything, by the way, even the player welfare. And that's what this comes under. They do not care. Money talks. And that is exactly what this is doing. They don't care. City are like, well, we don't need to go in it. We can, stay out of it and keep our players fresh and let's run it. Let's pile at the Premier League, Champions League next year. They're not willing to do it. Because I remember, do you know City's statement, Alex, when we were caught in, they don't completely quote me, but it was along the lines of, we didn't want to miss out. Now, that's worrying. Because to me,
on the money.
That's not like we regret doing it or we're really sorry. I mean, they did say we're sorry and we've let you down, but it's like we didn't want to miss out. That basically shows, Alex, sorry, but if something comes again, we're going to do it again because ultimately our stance won't change. And that's my thoughts on it. I don't think it's great. I think it could impact us. Well, I think it will impact us next year. It's just how much. And, potentially, if Liverpool are significantly better than last year, you think of the levels we're going to have to jump. And then on top of that, not let this tournament bother us in terms of fatigue. It's daunting. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I'd be really, really fucking pissed off if your team. I tell you what potentially could happen here, and this affected both our sides in 2021. COVID pushed the calendar back, and the Champions League final was you and Chelsea. We were in the Europa League final against Villarreal. We both choked them games, which was great. We entered our summer off considerably later than everybody else. Sorry, no, I'm getting it wrong. It was the year before. Sorry, you lost to Lyon in the knockouts in 2020 in around August time, and we lost in the semis to Sevilla in the Europa. United City came back later than every other Prem team. Do you remember you lost to Leicester 5-2 at home? We lost to Spurs 6-1, and we were both sluggish. Do you remember Chelsea and Tottenham were first and second after a couple of months of the season? Yeah. Because of a 2-week difference between all the other Prem clubs. Now, I don't know what City are going to do. I don't know how they're going to play this summer. I don't know if, like you said, is it the pre-season or is it a pre-season, then a break, then a pre-season, then the Prem? Like, how are they going to play it?
When is it actually due to end? Like, presuming we get to the final, do you know the date of the final?
So the club, it's in a month, I think.
A month from now is the final. I mean...
13th of July, so you've got a month before the Prem. So do you give your players 2 weeks off and then a 2-week pre-season or a week pre-season? Like, what is it?
Alex, this is what I meant by when I said it's messy, because you don't have... You like you say, you've got a decision to make. It's like, right, we go all in, we don't do a pre-season at all, we completely fuck it off and we just call pre-season that weird tournament. But then it's like, do you want to go into the Prem match day one with like players post-holiday might have put on a bit of timber? I don't think so.
Like the Community Shield game from last season, where Alex, City and United lined up with a weaker team because of the Euros.
Yeah, of course. You don't want to be getting back. I mean, the only thing I can think that City might potentially do, they're not going to do a pre-season. I don't think, physically, I don't think the players can do it. And I just think it'd be ridiculous to go along that path. I think the only thing is if they send the players away and they come back maybe a week and a half before Prem starts and have a friendly or something. That's all I can think. But it's massively impactful.
City pre-season. Just having a look now.
Yeah, it's true. Awful podcasting. I've not actually checked, to be fair.
Maybe we'll have to come back on that. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
I've not
really?
heard anything personally that we've got anything planned.
Because then you get 4 weeks off, and yeah, it looks like that is your pre-season, I guess, which makes sense.
Then you go in, you like going in, you're sleepwalking into the Prem season a bit flat-footed, and I don't really like the idea of it. And Alex, time and time again, and fair play to these boys, they hammer it all year round. They're on strict diets. They're not allowed to do anything. If you have a few weeks off, you're allowed to go and have a few beers and enjoy yourself. Eat maybe some pizza and, kick back. I can't blame them for it, but the impact that could have if they come straight from that and it's like, Alex, we're doing a live tomorrow and we're going to find out who we've got match day one. Imagine it's fucking Liverpool. They're fresh off pre-season, all fit as a fiddle. Fucking, Vardiol's been chomping down pepperonis for the last 3-4 weeks. It ain't going to go well.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's. I mean, look, it says it all. That it's all over Twitter how much Bayern won $1 million for beating Auckland, and it's all this prize money shit. It's all they can incentivize it because nobody gives a shit. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered what City might get for getting to the quarters, the semis, or even winning the whole Champions League? You don't care because as a fan, you get the pleasure from competing in the Champions League. Even in the Prem, I couldn't even tell you what Liverpool have just won for winning it. I don't even know. I imagine it's a lot, but there's not a figure in my head.
Pride. You win these competitions, and it creates history for your club, and you bask in these moments. They mean more than money. Why do we give a shit if the greedy bastards that live far from here get more money out the club than? What does that mean for us? We're fans.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that, like you said, Alex, I get your point. The fact they're having to push this as the narrative of like the winner gets 100 million. Like you said, I can't tell you what PSG got in the Champions League final, and I bet none of their fans could. But I bet they can tell you where they were when they won it and how much they celebrated that night. So that just tells you all you need to know. Yeah,
you're right. It's just the whole thing has fucked me off, really. I saw another thing. Again, I didn't watch the game. If you did, I'm sure you did. They played an ad while the ball was in play yesterday's Chelsea. Was it Chelsea or whoever was playing?
Yeah.
Sorry, no, PSG Atletico, they played an ad. Maybe they're doing it every game, I don't know. And the players coming out individually as well, like it's NBA or NFL. It's fucking nonsense. Honestly, how long before the ref blows the whistle and they have a live ad on the fucking pitch? You know what I mean?
Have you seen that thing where it's like the new ref camera? I don't know whether this is going to be in the Prem next year.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
I weirdly, right, I know we were talking about the jokey things from this, and some of them are pathetic, hate, but I actually really liked it because in the first game, obviously you didn't watch it, but did you see the penalty decision?
No.
Did it not show in the highlights? Right, okay, so basically, the other team got a pen, can't even remember who Miami were playing, and then it shows the angle, it looked a bit soft, like, he's gone down a bit theatrically, but when you see it from the ref's eyes and the stance he had, it was like the player had perfectly deceived him. And I'm not saying it was a dive, but he'd really done a good job. And I think that's going to be great next year, to be honest. However, it shouldn't really matter, should it? Because this is what we've got VAR for. I don't really know. Is it just like an added excuse to go, well, that's why I give it? Yeah, that bails you out, mate. But if we're sending you to the screen and you're still cocking it up, we're going to come at you still. It doesn't matter what you saw first time. If you're looking at it again, and you're still getting it wrong, I'm going to hammer you, no matter what you saw the first time.
It was interesting. I saw it in the Chelsea game, and I seen the pace of Jackson, like, sprinting away from the ref, and I just thought, my word, like, even this standard, whatever it is, it is like proper high-level performance. So that was pretty good. But the rest of it's a crock of shit. But obviously City are playing tomorrow. You open your tournament. We're going to do a separate episode for anybody wanting to watch that.
Yeah.
It should be on the channel if you're watching this. But if you are watching this, tell us what you think about this tournament and the sort of the Saudi World Cup bid and the DAZN 1 billion TV rights. Do you guys agree? Have you read that somewhere else? I mean, it's blown my mind. Well, has it blown my mind? Are we any further on than Sepp Blatter's bullshit? We're not, are we?
No, you're right. So it's corruption at its finest. I just had a quick question for you, Alex, before we wrap. So, I mean, I watched the first game and I saw Messi, and you were right, by the way. He had some moments, nearly scored a free kick. He has some great threaded balls. I mean, he's never not going to be amazing at football because his IQ is just significantly higher than anyone else in football. For anyone listening, by the way, me and Alex are huge Messi fans, as I'm sure everyone is who watches this. But yeah, just a quick question. Do you think him at Inter Miami, do you think he's saving himself for this World Cup and it's a bit of the last dance sort of thing? I don't know his contract situation at Inter Miami, but do you think that could be it?
No, I think he went to Miami thinking that he was going to retire from Argentina, and then he's managed to maintain a decent level and just thought, you know what,
could another one.
I think him and Ronaldo are just continuing because of each other at this point.
Yeah.
And it's almost well, if he's carrying on, I will. So, and also America are hosting it, so I reckon there'll be, who knows what's in that contract from Inter Miami or Apple, whoever actually funded that move with Messi. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, you need to stay on with Argentina to be some sort of poster boy for this tournament. So I think, look, I mean, it's another year though. Obviously, we watched Ronaldo a few weeks ago, didn't we, in the Nations League? And look, I just think that sometimes you think, well, it's only 12 months, but it can be, you can really lose quite a bit in that. And they're not playing at a high level, Messi or Ronaldo. So I don't know what to expect from either of them, really. My fear is for certainly, well, not like you said, Messi's so gifted. I mean, Ronaldo has squeezed every single inch of talent he had.
Yeah.
Whereas the gift that Messi has got, you know, he'll be that guy he'll do like an advert at 55 years old for Adidas and he'll still be technically amazing.
Nail the bar from 70 yards.
Yeah, like his touch, he's like you said, I mean, his touch, his eye, he's smart.
Every pass and every, the weight of every pass is perfect. And I don't know how, to have that level of consistency where I'm not talking about, he hits 9 in 10 or 9900. He hits every single one. It's just insane. And at the age he's at, I mean, we saw De Bruyne, one of my favourite players ever. Yeah. But when it goes, it goes. And God, there were some games where it was rolling under his boot and stuff. And he's misplacing simple 9-yard passes.
Because Ronaldo's career has changed, and a lot of players do. You know, they change into what age. We did gigs a few months ago, didn't we? And he turned himself into a centre mid. Ronaldo obviously is just he sort of transitioned into a 9, and now he is literally a cross it and I will try my best sort of player.
Yeah,
Messi will not play any other way. Yes, he doesn't do it at the frequency he used to or the speed. But he can still work angles. And you mentioned it's not just the inside passing that him and Neymar and Mbappe perfected in his younger years. It's the 10-yard slide passes from the halfway line where he opens play up for somebody else. He's just a freak, isn't he? And I think obviously Argentina found the model in Qatar where 10 players do the running of 11 essentially, and he will win us the tournament. Obviously Messi has to get he has to be on the ball, though. He can't just hang around and wait for an opportunity. He is the game. He is the team. How can he do it in a year's time with Argentina? I don't know, really. I think Ronaldo's role is actually a bit clearer. Whether people want it, whether people think he should be starting for Portugal is another question. But because Ronaldo is going to stand in the box and the team will just lump crosses in towards it, or they should do. Messi plays like false 9 still.
Yeah, and the thing is, you look at it and Alvarez is going to have to play. But the lucky thing for Argentina, I should say, is that Alvarez is an absolute grafter and he's also really talented. So whether they can make it work, look, it remains to be seen. So it'll be a cool one. Look, I want Messi and Ronaldo. We all want Messi and Ronaldo at that World Cup. I don't care what condition they're in. It's just mint. It's iconic. It never won't be. There's never going to be a time where I won't want to see them two players walking out of a World Cup. And I think I speak for the majority. You
hit the nail on the head. You were tuning in on Sunday. If Al Nassr were playing, we would tune in because they're just box office. They are amazing. And I think the thing is as well with them two is, so in Qatar you were like probably their last one. You're looking at Messi 39 next year, Ronaldo 41. There's no World Cup when Ronaldo's 44. Don't care how well he's looked after his body. And Messi, there's no way Messi at 42 will be playing.
Yeah.
So this is it. Like you mentioned Last Dance, there is no doubt. Look, if they can still bring some level, it would be amazing. Even just a little sort of flash of genius in the group stages would make most people happy. And God, if they did go on to the latter stages, it would just be funny. But look, nobody retains the World Cup. It's hard to do. So if Argentina, Messi went back to back, wow. I think the Ronaldo fan base would be on absolute. They would be in bits, to be honest. So yeah, man, I think it's going to be great. I think just looking ahead to the World Cup, obviously the spin-off from that is this is a 32-team tournament, so they've gone, oh, this is great, more games. Let's make the World Cup 48 teams. So we've got another 16 teams coming in. I don't even know how it's going to work because it's not a multiple of 16, is it? Sorry, it's not a multiple of 32, so it's like, right, how many groups are we going to have? Is it a third place?
It changes the whole dynamic.
A third place team's going to qualify and stuff like that. Like,
they need to be very careful because, again, it's like, this is what I was saying. These competitions, they mean so much to all of us because of tradition.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mind things being made better. You know, we sort of spoke about football as a whole should have been made better by VAR coming in. You know, we've all got arguments on whether it has made it better or not. However, when you start messing with competitions like the World Cup, Champions League, be very careful. You've got to make, if you want to make subtle changes, like I'm actually all for the Champions League changes, even though it fucked my team over. I actually really liked it. However, with the World Cup, don't start making it that we're putting everyone in, and then it's like, oh, I'm not watching games today, because if you see who's playing, it's Honduras versus San Marino. No, don't be doing that, because no one will be interested. You'll start losing people. Don't fuck with it too much, at least.
No, you're right. I mean, look, you expand tournaments when teams are not participating who are really good. Now we are nowhere near that. Look, anybody who's watched a decent amount of World Cups, my first tournament was France '98. I've remembered every single one since then. I've watched most games from every single tournament since then.
Yeah.
Not one World Cup did I go, well, we'll just go to Qatar. No, nobody was sat there in Qatar going, wow, we need an influx of 16 nations here who aren't here. No, we didn't.
There was some. I thought it could have been narrowed down a bit, if anything.
Yeah. No, you're right. Some of the better teams are rubbish. I don't want to watch what was it? Was South Korea that 4-0 down at half time to Brazil in the round of 60, something like that?
Yeah,
I don't want to watch that. Look, brilliant, fair play to Morocco. They deserve to get to the semis, but I wasn't sat there going, "Oh, Morocco have done well. Let's see what Uganda have got to offer in 4 years."
Yeah, it'll also distort a load of things, Alex. You make a great point. Yeah, it's like, oh, well, say Kane's top scorer. Oh, well, yeah, but we got 3 penalties against South Korea. It's not going to look great if it gets to them stages. Don't do it.
Like you said, Klose is the all-time leading goal scorer in World Cups, unless Messi passes him in 4 years.
Yeah.
From the future now, and even the Champions League stats where Cristiano's the top goal scorer in the Champions League in the old system. Now you play more games. So now it's like, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, let's say, Haaland, for example. Haaland plays another 10 years with this system. This format. God knows if it expands again. It's like, if Haaland gets more Ronaldo, we're like, well, yeah, but we got an influx of more shite from Europe. And now it's the same. Say, I don't know, a striker in 20 years' time, won't even be born yet. He comes into a World Cup, scores about 12, because to your point, he's playing against teams that have never qualified, never should qualify for a World Cup. And it's like, Klose's sat there at home going, fuck this, I did this against Brazil and France and Portugal. So are we just losing sight of everything? And you know why this is coming, Christian, because the qualifying got watered down. So what they did was they went, Nations League, let's spruce that up a bit, and it's another tournament that they've made up, because they know 46 teams can qualify for the World Cup now, so the qualifiers are getting even more watered down. So let's just make it a Nations League. Let's make the qualifying a tournament in itself, because France, Portugal, England, Germany, how are they not going to qualify now? I mean, look, they qualify all the time anyway. Like, now, what? So how many of those 16 teams are from Europe? I'm guessing at maybe 8. Another 8 sides from Europe are going to qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah, I just, there's, like you said, there's not a call for it. No one's whinging about that, apart from, I suppose, if you from one of them
Euros
from one of them countries.
That.
But
the coming third and qualifying for knockouts.
It's a load of shit. But listen,
we had it right. 16 teams in a European Championships. That's how it should be. The Copa America is 16 teams. It's 4 groups of 4. You go to the last 8. You go to the last 4, and you're a final. That's what the Euros is and was. And now it's we can't have 32 teams from Europe because it'd just be fucking everyone. So we'll go 24 teams or whatever it is. And then it's like shit, but that's not a multiple. That doesn't work out. So now Portugal won it in 2016. They drew all 3 group games and they came third and won it. They scabbed their way through on shootouts and extra time. Portugal won the Euros without winning a group game. That's what we are. That's what's happening to our sport. And now it'll happen in the World Cup. Christian, you're going to see it. Someone will win a group game, or maybe do what Portugal did: draw all 3 in a year's time, get through, and end up in the semis, and they'll win a couple of shootouts. And we'll be sat there in the semis going, "How the fuck have Norway with Odegaard and Haaland scabbed their way through here? They've not won a game yet," and it's going to happen.
But this is where we're at. So I mean, look, we'll see what develops with that. I mean, Alex, you look at this tournament. This is telling you what's going to happen. I mean, if you look, you as a neutral, obviously my team's in it, so I'm going to watch it anyway. However, I am literally watching City, and I'm not one of them fans. But I'm not sat there watching Bayern put 10 past plumbers. Not a fucking chance. You know what I mean? I don't see the point in it. I've got better things to be doing. But if they'd have made it more, like, you know, exclusive, that it would have been, like City were playing Bayern early on, it's like, fucking hell, well, you know, to the neutral, we want to see City's new signings, let's see where they're at. Is the rebuild good, or are they all shit? Let's see it. It drives traffic. What they have done is people are going to be that fucking bored, and it's a laughing stock because of the attendances that early on. By the time he gets to the final, it's already been laughed at too much to be taken seriously.
No, you're right. 100%. It's the fucking Super League comes Carabao, come fucking nonsense.
Energy drink up.
Fucking,
the 100ml energy drink cup.
I'm surprised I called it, the Mountain Dew Cup. Cheers for listening, guys. What do you think about this tournament? Is it a fucking shambles? Is it just pure corruption? And is Infantino is he any better than Sepp Blatter? I mean, it's scandalous from our perspective. Let us know what you think. If your team's playing in it, do you care how far they go? Do you want them to win it? We're going to do a City episode separately, so for any City fans, jump on and watch the City preview ahead of tomorrow's game.
City, bring it home. I'm all behind you.
I'm just trying to play it down because I've seen your side of the bracket, and I know you're basically in the semis now. So I'm dreading you winning some. I've enjoyed this trophyless season, and now I'm like, fuck me, you're going to get one.
Oh, we can't be lauding that about, though. Jesus Christ.
Trophy parade.
No way.
Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot, Christian. Catch us on the next one, guys. In a bit.